dripping out, spinning around. I'm underground, yeah, I fell down. Yeah, I fell down, I'm freaking out to where am I now? Upside down and I can't stop it now. It can't stop me now. Scratching down when I fall and hit the ground. I just turn myself around. Don't you try to stop me. Oh, and I won't cry. I found myself in Wonderland. Get back on my feet again. Is this real? Is this pretend? I'll take a stand until the end. Oh, I get by. Oh, I survive. When they were scratching down, when I fall and hit the ground.
Hey everybody, welcome to Gootz's Disney Pod. This is season 3, and with me once again is Natalie Cuomo. Natalie, how are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so happy to be hanging out with you. How are you?
I'm great. You know, unlike the other guests who I hate, Natalie is like actually one of my best friends in the real world, not just a person I'm using for stage time. So,
Ray, you are my favorite person.
So it's good to have you on the show. Unfortunately, I kind of fucked her because I made her watch Alice in Wonderland from 2010. But we're going to get into that in a second. But for the people that listen to this show, the last time you were on, Natalie, was December 19th, 2019. What have you been doing in the past year and a half?
Oh, my God. Well, there was a global pandemic.
Yes.
But other than that, I've been, been getting up a bunch still. I started my own podcast, Thirst Trap.
Thirst Trap, yep. You had a magazine for a little bit.
I had a magazine, Classy Trashy magazine. I was on the cover of Stag magazine.
Yeah, I have a copy in the house.
I have a show at the Stand and at the Tiny Cupboard now. It's fun to reflect that way. Let's see. I got a dog.
You got a dog, yes.
I went through a breakup.
That's right. She's no longer with the guy she was with when we recorded the first Alice in Wonderland episode. Yeah.
Yep. I got a few more tattoos.
A lot more. Not a few, but come on.
I got a lot more tattoos. I got my nose pierced.
Oh, you didn't have that in 2019?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Wow. What happened since 20? I built my following a lot.
You did. The one thing I gotta say about Natalie is she built her following during the pandemic. She didn't just sit on her ass, and she became a better comic too.
Thank you.
But she went up safely. She wasn't like going to like Texas. Well, you did go to Texas, but that's besides the point. She didn't like. You didn't do it like last summer. And
no. I was doing outdoor socially distanced shows. I was wearing masks. I've been very, very safe. I would say overly cautious this pandemic. I didn't leave my house much.
I think you're gonna look back. The people that were overly cautious are gonna look back like 20, 30 years from now and be like, I'm glad I'm glad I did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
No one's gonna be like, oh, I wasted 2020, you know.
No way.
I don't think you did.
It is weird though, because you get a dog so I got a dog during the pandemic. His name's Rory. I love him, but you know, he's not used to anyone coming over because I had him for almost a year in a pandemic. So if someone comes over, he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is our house. The only people that are here are my mom and my grandma. That's it. So what do you think you're doing here? So that's interesting.
That's funny. Oh man. So does he try to attack the people, or is he just like whatever?
He's confused.
Okay. All right. Well, at least he loves you.
Oh, he loves me more than any man ever will.
Yeah, that's true. Dogs love you. Animals love you more than any other human being.
It's so true.
I once, now that I've had 3 animals, I don't get, like, when you met me, I was really into that retard, you know. Mm-hmm. And I don't get like that anymore, because I just feel like you get that love from the animals. So it's like, yeah, this person's cool, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. They don't.
Oh my God. Even though he's been licking his butt for the last 15 minutes. Rory, stop.
Mm-hmm. What's he doing?
He's licking his butt. The thing is, people hurt you. Yeah. You know? Animals die once every 10 to 15 years. So you can either get heartbreak every 10 to 15 years, or you can get heartbreak every, 6 months to 3 years. It's really until you find the right person, but it's really safer to be vulnerable to an animal.
And the animal doesn't just decide one day he likes another family and go.
No.
And then pretends he doesn't know you. The animal just dies.
Well, we don't want that, but no. Yeah.
Well, what I mean is
they're loyal. They're very loyal.
They're very loyal. Yeah. Although Johnny McDonald gave me, I don't know if you can see peanuts on my lap while I'm doing this podcast.
Yes, I do.
When Johnny McDonald came over to watch wrestling the other night, Peanut did not come out of my room, and I think it kind of hurt Johnny's feelings. I think he kind of thought that Peanut was going to come out and be like, my real daddy, oh, I love you, come back, you know what I mean? But I think Peanut.
Did he give you Peanut?
Yeah, and he had Peanut for a lot of years. But Peanut doesn't like other people. He doesn't like people coming into the house. He just is used to me now. And Johnny did one day walk into the room, and Peanut just walked away.
Well, cats are different than dogs, you know?
Yes. And also, I think cats remember, I think in his mind, he was abandoned. He was given this house. And the first thing he saw was Jasmine, who he probably still doesn't know exactly what Jasmine is.
Yeah.
So he's like, you just threw me in this insane situation that I'm in. So.
I always think that Rory has abandonment issues because he was a rescue. I think he was dumped in Texas because he was found in the bayou. They couldn't find his owner. I always say to my mom, I think Rory has abandonment issues. And she's like, that's crazy. Dogs don't have that. But I think he does, because every time I walk away, he won't go outside without me. He's very, very attached to me. So
yeah. I think Jasmine, the way she acts with other dogs, she's either afraid or aggressive with other dogs. Even Matilda, she tolerates Matilda, but she's never like, "Oh, I love you, Matilda." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think when she was very little, a dog attacked her viciously, and she hasn't forgotten that. I think dogs.
How do you know that?
Because she's terrified of dogs, or she's ready to kill them.
Don't you wish they could just tell you? I just want to be like, so what happened? What happened down there?
I kind of feel like she was probably in a bad. What do they call them? Where they breed you?
Yeah, puppy mill.
Puppy mill, and they had a big dog there, and the dog fucking through into a wall or something.
Oh no, Matilda.
Because she does not.
I mean, Jasmine.
Jasmine, yeah. Well, Matilda. Matilda just loves dogs. So I think Matilda had nothing happen to her. So,
yeah. So yeah, it's been a productive year and a half, I would say.
Yeah.
Actually, wow, it's crazy. 2019 of December. Wow.
So much has changed.
But we're still best friends.
We still are.
Look at that.
We're still doing we're still on shows with people you know who. Anyway, let's some of the shows haven't changed out there, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let you know what? The productivity has ended tonight. Our lives have, because we both just sat through Alice in Wonderland from 2010. It was said to be a remake. It's actually a sequel. What did you think of this?
It's a sequel?
Well, because remember, as a child, she was in Alice in Wonderland. She went to Wonderland.
Right.
And she forgot. So I'm pretty sure it's a sequel. Yeah.
I see.
To the cartoon.
It was so fucking boring,
Yeah,
Ray.
I agree. It was really fucking boring.
Oh my God. Like, that's a time where I wish I smoked weed because holy shit. I was like, oh my God. There are only so many snacks I could eat. There's only so many, you know, things I can do while I'm watching the movie that help me get through it.
When the movie started and she's like at the dance where she's gonna get proposed to by her
Yeah.
weird boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, this is gonna pick up when they get to Wonderland because this is Tim Dillon.
Right.
Tim Dillon. Maybe Tim Dillon should have directed this. Holy fuck.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, and he has such a great art. He has such a great style and art direction.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked.
I was so shocked. Like, this is gonna pick up. And then she goes to Wonderland, and the first CGI shot of all the characters looks so fucking bad. Tweedledee, Tweedledum, the caterpillar, the mouse. It just looked so fucking bad. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I didn't like, okay, right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
He said she takes the caterpillar off his shirt and he's like, you need to wash your fingers. Then he just grabs her fingers. That makes no sense. Yeah. Then she goes behind, follows the rabbit. And I thought it was bizarre that her dress shrunk. And so her dress stayed the same size she shrunk. So I'm expecting her to come out naked. Mm-hmm. But she comes out in like a whole new random ass dress. I was like, I thought maybe she's gonna come out in like a bra and underwear. Like,
even that would make sense because why would her bra and underwear shrink with her?
Or even like the same dress at least, but a whole different ass dress. It was as soon as she got to Wonderland, it was so boring. The Queen was so boring.
How many times did the Queen scream off with her head in the exact same tone?
Yeah, I wanted to off with the Queen's head. I mean.
And the sad part is there's like a lot of like, not just good actors, but like amazing actors with Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter.
It's a cash grab. It's a cash grab.
Yeah, but it's like what's her name? Anne Hathaway is the white queen, the good queen, I guess.
Anne Hathaway's beautiful. I just wanted to say one thing to you, Ray.
What?
I like to have 6 imaginary things before breakfast.
By the way, so at the beginning of the movie, they do this whole prologue where the dad tells her how wonderful she is and how great she is, and he's talking about he's going to go on his voyage in the sea.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, oh, the dad's going to be in Wonderland, or she's got to go get her dad, and then he never comes up again until the end of the movie.
The dad was like, I thought it was weird that the dad was like, you're mental, but we all are. I was like, well, gee, that's not comforting.
No, that's not nice to tell your little daughter who's like 6.
I was like, you could tell her she's special in a different way.
You're mentally ill, but so is the whole family.
She's like, you're fucking crazy.
I also thought the aunt, remember there was like a crazy aunt who was like, oh, my prince is coming for me. Remember that aunt?
Yeah.
I thought that the Mad Hatter was the prince. And he was going to come and like, they were going to fall in love. And then at the end of the movie, she's just like, you need to get over your delusions to the old lady. What about your delusions? You were just in fucking Wonderland.
Oh, yeah, that was bizarre. That was bizarre.
Yeah, it's like you just had this whole movie where it's like, it's great to imagine things. You're telling this poor old lady who's alone. Yeah, just get over it, lady.
They were mean to her. That you're talking about the aunt that was by herself, and they're like, you don't want to end up like her, that lady?
Yeah, I thought the whole big twist was like someone in Wonderland is her prince, and he was going to come out to get her.
Oh, I think I don't like that because it's this fucking narrative that like you need a guy.
Yeah, but I mean, well, Alice proved she didn't need a guy. She's going to go work on a boat, which is nice, I guess. But. Yeah. But like the whole thing, so the original Wonderland, because you don't remember it, I think you were like really bitched. We were. I don't know if you remember, but the entire movie, the first time we watched Alice in Wonderland, you came over.
What did I bitch about this time?
You were asking if you should start a Patreon. That was
if I should start a what?
Patreon. You were talking about should I start a Patreon? Should I start a Patreon? But should I?
That's what I talked about the whole time.
Yes. You don't remember? Yes.
Why didn't you tell me to shut the fuck up?
Because that's what you do. You ask me a question and I answer it. And you're like, yeah, but should I?
For 2 hours?
Well, that movie wasn't 2 hours. The original Alice in Wonderland. The reason why I started this podcast with the movies were so short. So I'm like, okay, it was only an hour, the original Wonderland.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, we watch a movie for an hour, then we do a podcast, and we just bullshit. But now I'm getting into these. I figured, it's fun to come back and watch the remakes and have guests come back and bullshit with them. And I did not expect this remake to be this fucking long. That's the other thing, dude. This is fucking
it was long. The other thing is I just didn't give 2 fucks about the characters.
No.
I could have gotten into a story if she never went to Wonderland.
Well, I just think like it kind of became like Harry Potter. Did you read that when you were younger?
No.
Me neither. But the whole thing about Harry Potter is like he's part of a prophecy. He's the only one that can save everyone. And that's not the original Wonderland. The original Wonderland is this girl going through an acid trip.
Right.
And in this movie, it's like, you're the only one that can defeat the Bandersnatch, and you have to go get the sword, and there's a war. And that's not what Wonderland's about. Wonderland is just about imagination and drugs and just tripping and just chilling out and being cool. It's not about fucking fighting things.
And it's not about, did we get the right Alice? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they didn't know they had the right Alice. She didn't remember she was there originally. And then when she did remember, she had no reaction. What did you think of the actress that played Alice?
I thought they did a good job because both the kid and the young adult version had bags around their eyes.
She's like I looked her up and now she's doing like mainly British plays, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
COVID shut it down. Sometimes I thought, this is an attractive actress. And other times I was like, she's terrible. I couldn't.
It's like, listen, right. I don't really watch movies.
I know you don't.
So for this to be like the first movie I'm jumping back into long form television with was fucking rough.
Dude, it was rough for me. So I put it on last night. So I'm going to watch this before I go to bed. And I'm sitting there and my eyes are bleeding. And then I paused it. I'm like, there's 40 minutes left. Fuck this. And I went to bed. And then I finished it like
this morning. Here's the thing. This is how much I love you that I fucking watched this stupid thing. Because if it was someone else's podcast, I would have stopped at an hour in. I fucking kept it on the whole time.
Well, the thing about it is that, it's a whole journey we're going through.
It is a journey, just like Alice's journey.
I know, but our journey is I don't know where it's going to lead us to, but it's a whole thing that we're doing. I would say if you like Alice in Wonderland, you're going to hate this fucking movie.
You know what we should watch next? I will say there's a version of there's this filmmaker like Jan Svankmajer. Have you heard of him?
No.
He has a version of Alice in Wonderland. It's called Alice. It's very slow. It's very avant-garde. Mm-hmm. We should watch it.
There's been a lot of versions of Alice that are way better than this. I think Alice in Wonderland would be a really good horror film. There's like a lot of ways you go, but they went the action adventure route. And
I don't like action and adventure because it's boring. There's no stakes. It's like, yeah, they're gonna get the sword, beat the Jabberwocky. She's gonna leave. Okay, like there's nothing. Like it's too predictable.
And to me, it was also very weird to see the Mad Hatter with a sword and fighting things. Like the Mad Hatter to me is a character. Again, he's kind of like just this quirky, peaceful character. Now he's like, I got a sword. And it was just like, what the fuck, dude?
And I feel like the thing about not making it a cartoon, the actors weren't really in the characters. Like you could tell there was kind of, other than for Alice, there were really no stakes involved. Like Tweedledee and Tweedledum were just like, they were half CG. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but they just didn't care. They didn't pull you in.
Yeah, that's the thing. And the problem with making these cartoons live action is that when the animators made these movies, they could do whatever they wanted. They had they had a pencil and paper, and they could go wherever they wanted and do whatever they want. And then when you make it a live action movie and you have to take that to live action, this was never meant to be live action.
No, it was meant to be Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, and now it's like it just looks bad and just. By the way, you know who Johnny Depp reminded me of in this movie?
Who?
Remember my friend Sean?
Oh yeah, I can see that. Johnny Depp was the one with the dark hair, right?
Johnny Depp was the Mad Hatter, the guy with the hat.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course he reminded me of your friend. Yes. Yeah, yes.
Well, now I've got some even worse news for you.
What?
Because on this season, we're covering the remakes, and if they have a sequel, we're going to cover them. And in 4 weeks, I'm going to come up to the sequel to this movie.
Oh my good. Well, what drugs are we going to take?
We should take drugs. Actually, we should take drugs. You should come over. We'll take edible gummies, then do the podcast.
No, you have to do it here. I can't leave my house after taking edible gummies.
Okay,
in case something goes wrong.
I'll go to your place. But here's the one thing. I did watch the trailer for the sequel.
Okay.
And Sacha Baron Cohen is the villain.
Ooh, I do like that. Okay. That's fair.
So that might make it better. Or he might have just cashed the check like everybody else. I don't know.
Yeah. I saw Anne Hathaway and I did get happy. There are some people that even if it's a cash grab, I like them enough that I'm like, I don't give a shit. I just like to see your face and hear your voice.
Yeah, and I feel like Borat, the thing with Sacha Baron Cohen is like, even if you hand him the worst script in the world, he's going to try to make it good.
Yeah, he's just funny innately.
Yeah, so I feel like he's not going to say yes to Alice 2, not even Alice 1. Without knowing what he's doing. And that's going to be in 4 weeks. Will you come back?
Yes, I will.
Awesome.
I will.
Woo! Well, you've got a Zoom show, so we're gonna cut it here. We're gonna talk more in 4 weeks. But before we go, do you have anything you want to plug? Don't plug tomorrow's live recording because it's gonna come out next week. So
Ray, I'm almost offended. This is like the shortest podcast I've ever done in my life.
We can keep talking. I thought you were like sick of the movie. We can keep talking.
No, I'm happy to go, but I'm like, oh my God, it's been like 15 minutes.
No, it hasn't. How much time has it been?
It's 10:26. We started like 10:10.
Oh, let's keep going. Fuck it. We got more to talk about. Hold on. I gotta close the door. I don't want the dogs to get in my mom's room. Yeah, we can keep going. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Let me see. What was your favorite part of the movie?
I think the credits.
What was
Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway, sexy. Honestly, I may just not I may just be in that state of mind, but Anne Hathaway was fucking a highlight for me.
Did you think it was kind of mean the way she like punished her sister?
I zoned out for that part.
Okay, she basically said you're gonna have no friends for the rest of your life and you're gonna be trapped alone in like this fucking cave, and it's like,
yeah, that's mean. I mean, yeah, that's mean.
I thought she's supposed to be the good queen. Why was she that mean to the sister?
I hated the queen with the big head.
Oh, the red. You know why I hated her? Because she just kept saying the same line over and over again.
I felt so sad for the frog in the beginning, and they're trying to figure out which frog ate her fucking thing, and he had the little thing dripping, and he wiped it away, and she said, "Off with your head," and they dragged him away. I felt so bad for the frog.
Yeah, me too. I really felt bad for the frog. They actually murdered the frog at the beginning of the movie.
I want to take him home. I wanted to say, "It's okay, little frog. I'll take care of you." That was so sad.
What about the talking dog? And they were like, weren't they like not going to let him see his family unless he like caught Alice?
It's terrible.
By the way, CGI dogs. Now that I have real dogs, I hate CGI dogs. I can't get it.
I think the underlying theme is there was animal abuse in 2010 Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, there was a lot of animal abuse. They tried to kill the mouse. Remember they tried to kill the mouse? Did you think the Mad Hatter wanted to bang Alice? I couldn't get a read on that.
No, I don't think she was supposed to be a sexual creature.
No, she's not. I mean, she clearly isn't into sex, but he's like, Alice, I don't know. I think they kind of wanted to have it both ways with that, even though Johnny Depp is like 50 at that point and she's like 21.
Let me look at some photos. I didn't feel like it had anything to do with drugs, whereas I feel like the original did.
No, this one didn't have anything to do with drugs. The original did 110%. This one just again, I really feel like Harry Potter. I kind of feel like Harry Potter and Twilight have ruined books, and they've ruined like literature for kids. So like, you know how I'm reading a book a year?
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know,
a book a year.
Well, I'm doing this thing.
You mean a book a day?
Well, that's basically at the rate I'm going. I'm doing 100 books, 100 years. So I'm reading a book
right
from every year from 1921 to 2020. And I jumped ahead and I looked at the books that came out in 2018. And every fucking book is about some teenage girl who's gay, who discovers she has this magical power, or it's about this fucking girl who falls in love with a vampire, but he's also gay, or it's about somebody getting Me Too'd in Silicon Valley. It's like it's all like the three same fucking books. I'm like, does anybody write anything different?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking lame. I don't know.
It's crazy the way Johnny Depp just fucking, he really looks like a different person in every role he plays.
So for a second, you didn't know who Johnny Depp was when I said to you Johnny Depp?
This is not going to be another podcast where someone tells me I didn't know who a celebrity was. I know who Johnny Depp is.
Okay. His career is kind of over because of what. Don't you think it's fucked? So Amber Heard, you know the backstory with Johnny Depp now with Amber Heard.
Yeah, yes, I do.
Amber Heard, if you don't know, Amber Heard accused him of hitting her and all this stuff. Johnny Depp produced evidence that she actually hit him and almost like cut off his finger. Doug Stanhope, who is a great comedian, have you seen him yet?
Yes.
Okay, in person?
No.
Okay, you'll be opening for him in 3 weeks. Doug Stanhope was at Johnny Depp's place. They hang out and said he knows for a fact that she was abusive towards him. And Johnny Depp gets fired from all these movies. He's fired from the new Harry Potter. He's fired from a bunch of other stuff. His career is basically over, and she has no consequences. I think that's so fucking insane.
It is insane. It's sad because being wrongfully accused of anything is.
Yeah, even when you have evidence. And I think Amber Heard sued Doug Stanhope, and he doesn't have enough money to fight her because he's a comedian and she's a Hollywood star. So he had to basically back away from defending Johnny Depp. And it's just
it's all about money at the end of the day.
All about money. That's why I'm gonna get a lot of money and just sue everyone to book me.
To book you on what fucking shows? Like shows where you make $20?
I know, right? I'm suing you. All right, you'll get put on late night. Okay, great. Thanks.
Amber Heard kind of looks like Scarlett Johansson.
A shittier version of Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
Yeah, but she does she looks a little bit like her.
Yeah, she does. I think Johnny Depp, instead of dating Amber Heard, he should have dated the chick from Alice in Wonderland. But that's all of the story.
The chick from Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah. So I don't think she would have accused him of anything at this point.
Yeah, well, looks like she's a kid.
Well, she's 31 right now. So.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
It's so bizarre when they're playing a part that's so much younger.
Well, this was 10 years ago, so she was 21 back then.
Okay.
Now she doesn't look like a kid. She looks like a middle-aged woman.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's the years are not being kind to Alice.
Wow. What do you know the actress's name?
Yeah, hold on, I'll tell you right now. Look this up.
Remember that time you tried to end this podcast 10 minutes in?
I didn't try to end it 10 minutes in. I thought you had. I didn't realize the time. We can talk for more. It's fine. You're good.
Oh,
right?
Wow, Mia Wasikowska.
Yeah, look how old she looks now. It's like, did they film this movie in 1947? Like, holy shit.
She's listening, you know.
She is. She's like, finally, someone's talking about my movie. Oh, they're being so mean to me. Oh.
I always wonder how much money people make from movies like this.
She had to make. Her net worth is $8 million.
Well, no, that's not real necessarily.
I think so. She's been in a bunch of movies. She saves her money. She could have investments.
See this haircut. There's a photo of her in a black turtleneck with a really cute bob, short haircut. These are the type of photos that make girls go to the salon and get a bob haircut. And then they get it styled. It looks cute. They go home and wash their hair. And it's the most awkward motherfucking haircut you could ever possibly have in your life.
Those of you that can't see it, it's actually a Wikipedia profile photo.
No, not that one. The one of her in the black turtleneck on her IMDb.
Oh, I see that one. Yeah, she almost looks like a shitty Gwyneth Paltrow.
Hold on.
Rory agrees. We're recording for a second. We're gonna be right back.
Sorry about that.
What was Rory doing? We had to pause the show for a second.
Oh my God. My mom came downstairs for something and Rory freaked out.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he like your mom or no?
He does, but he got scared.
Okay. Now, did you ever see Back to the Future?
No.
Okay. You never saw Back to the Future? You are not. Here's the one thing about Natalie. She does not watch a lot of movies. Like, period. End of story.
I don't like to sit still.
No, she doesn't. That's why she's always producing shows. What happened? Did you get a hair in your soup? Is that soup or?
No, it's tea, and I think the tea bag must be broken.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
I feel like Alice.
If we could have a... You know what they didn't do in this movie, which I thought was kind of bullshit? They didn't sing the unbirthday song.
How does it go?
Very merry on birthday to you. Did you remember like the big scene is like, it's my own birthday. Every day is your own birthday. Every day is your own birthday, but your birthday. So today's your own birthday.
Oh, sing it to me.
A very merry on birthday to you. Then you go to me.
To me?
Merry on birthday to you.
To me?
Yes. I don't know. The Jews.
Right. I think the hardest part of this whole thing is I put on makeup. I took a shower to do your fucking audio only goddamn podcast.
I should start a Patreon and be like, you can watch the video portion of this. Because when we started, there was no video. We were sitting in my living room doing this. Now I have video of it.
I remember us recording it. Yeah.
Yeah, we were sitting in my living room. And
we were not paying attention to the movie, which is just my style.
Yeah. But that movie was easy to follow and not pay attention to. Because it's more... That movie's more... I really do feel like an Alice in Wonderland movie needs to be abstract.
Yes. That's why this...
Feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feelings, visuals. This whole shit about there's a fucking prophecy. You have to find a sword.
I hate action movies. They're so boring. I feel like they're for 8-year-old boys, and that's it.
Well, also 40-year-old boys, but yes, I agree with you. Shit, I had a question I want to ask you about movies.
Now, what would you say the demographic of this podcast is mostly guys or girls?
It's funny because most of my listenership is on Tumblr, and I can't tell. So I think it's 50-50.
I feel like Tumblr is...
Tumblr...
It used to be girls, but I feel like it's guys now.
No, Tumblr is still strong with fandoms. And what I mean by that is if people are into like, I don't know, fucking Smallville, they're hanging out on Tumblr.
Interesting.
They're not talking about like issues. They're just, and so when I put my Treasure Planet podcast, I swear to God, has like 5,000 lists of hits. And I had Tom Eshelman on, and no offense to Tom Eshelman, but like
he's listening to this.
He's not listening to this. He was like, when I picked him, he's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do it. And
what movie was it again?
Treasure Planet. Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of it.
It came out in 2002. It was a massive bomb.
But people love it?
I guess, yeah, people on Tumblr loved it because that's my biggest episode by far. It's not even close. The second biggest episode was Robin Hood because that movie started the furry movement because everybody wanted to fuck Robin.
Now tell me, who was your guest on that?
Eric Frost.
Okay. How many episodes have you done?
This is episode 84, 85.
Wait, what? 80-45?
No, 84, 85. I can't remember what time.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. So, wow.
What?
How would you rate this episode?
It was great. I'm having a great time talking to you. I don't know why I ended it early. I thought you had to go. That's all. Yeah. I mean, you have to go you probably have to go in like 5-6 minutes, but we can keep going. I'm having a great time talking to you. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I mean, I love Alice in Wonderland. I think it's a great Halloween costume. Oh yes, the book, the idea. I was just not this fucking movie. I don't know. I like good movies that I watch either have to be really fucking good, like you get into it and you're like invested in the characters, or they have to be total trash and you're laughing at the characters. This was just very boring. This was just somewhere in the middle, and that's why it's hard. And it was very like, there were so many times where I'm like, I can't believe this many talented. But you know what? That's also hard to say because they're not in the room filming this anymore. It's all computerized. I guarantee you Helena Bonham Carter was probably on a set by herself.
just yelling off of their head.
Could have been it's COVID friendly.
It could have been COVID friendly. Like when I watched them, I forget what movie I watched them. Oh, this is back in 2002. Spider-Man, the first one with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
They were like just on like a blue staircase doing the movie. They weren't even on set. And that was back in 2002. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to really get into the scene when you're just at an empty set. You're not really where you're supposed to be.
And that's acting.
That's acting. Yeah. But I mean, like
theater, baby, theater.
Natalie, are you ever going to go back to acting, or are you just straight stand up now?
Yeah, cast me. I'm ready to go.
Well, I'm not going to do anything right now. So,
if anyone, I was supposed to do. We'll see. I had a few auditions over quarantine.
Oh, you did?
I did. I had one for. It was so cool. It was for an HBO show, Betty.
That's right. We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was very excited. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, but hopefully something else cool will come along.
That's right. That's there's something that was on the tip of my head.
That was a perfect show for me.
What was your role going to be again?
I was going to be, it was a lesbian threesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is a perfect role.
It is. It's perfect. A few lines and just, being in the moment.
I want to write a movie about you called Natalie in Comedy Land, because you were definitely taking the grand tour at the past year.
Natalie in Comedy Land?
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm taking the grand tour?
You're meeting everyone. Everyone thinks you're the greatest.
Oh my God, Ray!
What?
That is the nicest thing ever.
You're kind of like this in Alice, the original story, not this fucking movie, but the original story, Alice, she just kind of shows up in Wonderland and she meets the walrus and the Mad Hatter and the Queen. You're kind of like that. You were like, I want to do stand-up. And then you meet the creepy guy from LA. You meet Chris Rock. You meet fucking Will Sylvans. You meet Cypher Sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a world tour.
It's a world tour. So, you're doing great things.
Thank you.
Like this poor actress who played Alice.
Well, she's pretty. And you know what I can say? She's very skinny, and that is very admirable.
That is. I'm sure her agent screams at her every day. You gotta stay fucking skinny.
She pulls off this haircut, which is,
The one thing I have to say, when she got in armor, which I didn't expect, they didn't, because I saw some Star Wars. They did this. So some women in Star Wars wear armor, and they have tit armor. So they have like basically metal tits.
Right.
In this movie, she just had straight armor.
That's what I mean. They didn't want to sexualize her.
They didn't sexualize her, which I thought was kind of cool.
And it's kind of like that wedding thing where they tried to make a point. They said, like, you're 20, you're getting old, or something like that in the beginning.
Well, that back then that was true. I mean, they made a point of being like, she's too young. She's young and being forced into marriage too soon. When I was reading the books from the 20s, I was shocked at how people basically thought 30 was like it.
Well, that's because everyone died so much sooner.
I know. 30 was basically middle-aged in like 1922. So I'm sure in the 1800s, 20 was like, what the fuck are you doing? Just suck someone's dick already,
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm gonna cut it short now, and I'll tell you
why.
Well, I gotta take a shit. It's building up in me, so.
That's why?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
But we talked for 40 minutes.
We did?
Yeah.
I think we started late, but that's fine. Okay, yeah.
No, we did talk for 40 minutes, but we're gonna have so much more to talk about in 3 weeks when we cover Alice Through the Looking Glass. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited.
I can see you. Natalie, is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Oh my God, yes. I want to plug my show at The Stand. It is May 6th, a Thursday at 9 p.m. It is going to be awesome. You can get your tickets at thestandnyc.com. Follow me on Instagram at Natalie Cuomo _ and check out my podcast, Thirst Trap.
And guys, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, whether you're a fan of Natalie or this shittier version of Alice in Wonderland or Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, and you want to listen to more, I have an archive. We've done all the Disney animated films. We've done all the Pixar films. And now we're doing live action remakes. Next week, we're going to do The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nicolas Cage, and Kyle Lewis is going to come back to be the guest. Do you know Kyle?
You have Nicolas Cage coming on the podcast?
No, we're gonna watch a movie with him.
Yes, I know Kyle.
You like Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
I love that guy. I want to meet him.
Yes.
I feel like you're about to tell me I met him or something. The way you paused.
No, young Nicolas Cage, I would say very handsome.
He's such a ridiculous actor. But
in Raising Arizona, Nicolas Cage in Raising Arizona is like my type, okay. And I want my type to be not that.
You do have a very specific type. It's very like
loser. Just kidding.
Yeah, I would say that.
No, what is my type? Tell me.
It's like, well, no, because one guy beats that type, but the other guys, it's like very like they kind of work at a bar, they kind of work on bikes, they listen to like 70s rock, they like to beat their wives every now and then, but then they immediately apologize. That type.
It's so funny because like Amanda and we post this video today, and the video. You saw it? Did you see it?
I saw it. Yeah, it's a great video. It's on her Instagram, Natalie Cuomo.
Thank you.
.com, but there's no .com on Instagram. Yeah.
There is a NatalieCuomo.com if you want to check it out. It's called Social Media Confessions, and it's basically just like check the video out. But there's a part where I'm like, oh, I posted a photo that said flowers from Bay, but I bought the flowers for myself, and there is no Bay. Okay. The number of fucking DMs I got that said there's no Bay, I was like, that's not the point of the fucking video.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure when people find out you're single now, it's like, oh my God, open season. Here she is.
There's no Bay.
There's no, but you know what? There is Alice in Wonderland. Alice, and you'll be back in 4 weeks. Alice through Looking Glass. Me and you are going to talk about it.
Can't wait. Thanks, Ray.
Guys, thank you for listening to the podcast. We'll see you next week with Kyle Lewis and Nicolas Cage. Thanks.